Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking something absolutely wild. We're diving headfirst into this chaotic sci-fi action sequence that just masterfully blends gritty urban warfare with a literal apocalyptic holy war. It's intense, it's bizarre, and honestly, it is an absolute thrill ride. Let's get right into it. Just imagine hearing this echoing right inside your own head. We blacks grabbed you now, Toivo Cree Cree. That is the terrifying and completely bizarre threat our protagonist Toivo is facing. It immediately hooks you in and establishes this intense, claustrophobic trap he's stuck in right from the very first lines of the text.
Section 1. Trapped in the Ghetto.
Okay, let's dive right into this setup. Toivo is barricaded inside a dusky, candlelit apartment in a ghetto known as Kruparvara, and there's this mysterious, locked, metallic suitcase on the floor. Outside, the odds are just impossible. A few minutes ago, emergency vehicles flooded the exterior corridor. Moments after that, the bomb squad is literally demanding he come out. And right now, red infrared dots from snipers are sweeping across his living room walls. The escalation of the siege is just incredibly rapid. Then, Toivo gets this sudden mental vision of the guys outside. And we're not talking about normal tactical units here. These strike force soldiers have physically distorting faces and pitch black eyes. Leaning heavily into that cyberpunk feel, they're actually communicating silently with each other using microchips implanted directly in their brains. Section 2. The Supernatural Phone Call. So, just as the situation seems completely hopeless, we get this massive tonal shift that interrupts the standoff. It's the striking contrast. On the mundane side, you have Toivo kneeling there with an automatic assault rifle, plus a pump shotgun resting right nearby on the sofa. But on the divine side, an ordinary cell phone in his hand suddenly starts ringing, and the receiver is supernaturally bright. It's this incredible clash of heavy tactical weaponry and glowing supernatural intervention. When he puts it on speaker, the screen reads, "Hava is calling," and a voice cries out, "The White Hearts are coming, TiVo endure for another moment, beep, 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 toot, toot, toot." You really have to appreciate the strange, immersive onomatopoeia of the text here. It gives you this raw, disjointed feeling of an intercepted, glitchy transmission as Hava delivers this vital message of hope, abruptly disconnecting right as a helicopter roars overhead outside. Section 3. Angels and Earthquakes. Suddenly, the tension just snaps. Toivo accidentally drops his weapon, firing wildly into the ceiling, and a single bullet slashes an open wound right into his ear. Outside, a deafening rain of enemy bullets rips straight through his window blinds, showering the entire room in glass and lead. But amidst all that shattered glass, a literal blue fire burning angel manifests right next to him, physically reaching out to catch the incoming hail of bullets. Seeing this impossible divine protection, Toivo grabs the metallic suitcase, and instantaneously, the enemy shooting outside just stops. Then his cell phone displays a mysterious series of numbers alongside the letters 12 Apostles. When Toivo presses the receiver, an alarm sounds, and the very environment reacts. Lightning strikes from dark clouds, and a massive earthquake tears the ground apart. The earth literally opens up like a maw and swallows the cybernetic special forces and snipers outside his building whole.
Section 4. The Highway Battle.
With the immediate threat swallowed by the earth, this holy war violently explodes straight into the streets, turning the entire urban environment into a chaotic landscape of fireballs and artillery. We've got two incredibly bizarre factions colliding here. The forces of light, known as the White Hearts, are driving white Humvees armed with miniguns and a mysterious Shield of David. Opposing them are the forces of darkness, black angels piloting black vans and death ambulances. And they're colliding in this brutal, all-out battle right on Flea Alley.
Let's just pause and look at the demonic faction's transport for a second, because it is wonderfully dark and absurd. They aren't just driving black vans, they are riding bone motorcycles. These are macabre, blood-dipped vehicles physically constructed out of bones and skins, and they're ridden by black angels firing bazookas and machine guns. It is pure heavy metal, dark fantasy dropped right in the middle of a city street.
Section 5. Escape in the Humvee.
The pacing ratchets up even higher now. Two White Heart Humvees fire grappling hooks directly onto Toivo's second-story balcony and literally rip the entire exterior wall down for this spectacularly destructive rescue mission. White-clothed men deploy an electric protection that over Toivo, bouncing the enemy bullets away. Protected, Toivo takes this massive leap of faith through the rubble, metallic suitcase firmly in hand, and lands perfectly through the open roof window of the Humvee, thumping right down onto the soft seat inside as the roof slides shut lightning fast. Right in the middle of this high-speed getaway, we get a really jarring emotional twist. Outside the Humvee, demonic voices are screaming from everywhere, threatening to grab him. But inside, Toivo feels Hava's hand. And when he looks, his rescuer, Hava, has taken on the comforting, yet totally surreal, angel face of his own mother. She smiles and shouts, "Pedal to the metal, John." It's this weird, beautiful anchor of humanity in a sea of demonic chaos.
Section 6. The Final Vortex.
Just as they hit the gas to make their final escape, a terrifying new antagonist cuts them off on the highway. His name is Darkface. He's leading the motorcycle procession, riding a massive, bone-horned, blood-dipped bike. And as if that wasn't terrifying enough, spider-like, poison-oozing bone bows are physically erupting from his back as he shouts commands of darkness to his legion of black angels.
And this brilliantly illustrates how fast the scale of power shifts here in this devastating chain reaction. First, Hava simply says, "Now." Second, Toivo presses his glowing phone receiver again. Third, massive vortexes physically tear open in the sky. Fourth, the dark troops are forcefully sucked up into the high altitudes. And finally, supernatural lightnings within the clouds completely crush them in what the text describes as a sea of fire. It's a single apocalyptic sweep.
The resulting imagery of the aftermath is grisly and absolute. Toivo gets a mental vision of Darkface's distorted face one last time, and maggots are literally writhing within his features, burning away as the lightning strikes him. Simultaneously, that entire legion of black angels is cast down, dropping into a bottomless abyss of damnation, flaring up to burn as they fall away into nothingness.
So what does this all mean? We're left with a massive, looming question. What exactly did we just witness? Between the microchips in brains, the glitchy phone transmission automatopoeia, and then the divine blue fire angels casting demons into a literal abyss? Is this a complex digital simulation glitching out? A literal biblical apocalypse happening in real life? Or some heavily stylized sci-fi dystopia? The text constantly bends and breaks genre rules, creating a reality that is undeniably unforgettable. Think about what clues stand out the most to you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and always keep questioning the reality of the texts you read.